Right here you have Matt Hoover, aka CRS Firearms. Right here you have the Bruin decision. Right here you have the United States Constitution. Right here you have the Supreme Court. Right here you have the ATF's trumped up charges. And right here you have the dumbass ATF themselves. It's a perfect storm forming down in Florida. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What's up, Wolverines, and welcome back to the channel. I'm not in my regular studio because I'm having an issue with one of the light fixtures over there. That's brand new. A replacement is here, but I got to get it mounted and everything else. I'll probably do that this weekend, but until then, I'm in the podcast studio. If you don't know who I am, my name is John Crump. I'm an investigative journalist, and I keep an eye on the 2A space for all of you wonderful people out there. If you can do me a favor, comment and subscribe. I'm really curious what you think about what's going on with Matt Hoover, and we're going to get into that in a second. Matt Hoover might actually be at the center of a storm. Matt Hoover, aka CRS Firearms, on the tubes for you, was arrested a few months ago by a bunch of jackbooted ATF thugs on orders of an overbearing government for advertising a product that was legal at the time. The product he was advertising is known as an auto key card. An auto key card is a piece of metal with a drawing inspired by a lightning link on it. The government claimed that that was a machine gun. At the time Matt advertised it, it was totally legal. Several months after he started advertising it, the jackbooted ATF thugs kicked down the door of the owner of Auto Keycard and arrested him for selling machine guns. Keep in mind, this is a piece of metal with a drawing, which I'm pretty sure is covered under the First Amendment, but we'll talk about that at another time. Then they arrested Matt for conspiracy because he advertised it. Matt never sold an Auto Keycard. He was not involved in the business. He was a advertiser. Basically, the guy that owns Auto Keycard bought time on Matt's channel to advertise the Auto Keycard. And that's exactly what Matt did. Nothing more, nothing less. So Matt has been going through a bunch of court cases. He pled not guilty and so far has turned down all plea deals, which is good on Matt. His attorneys, which includes Fudbusters himself, Matt LaRossiere, are fighting back, and they filed a motion to dismiss in the case. So let's go ahead and talk about the dismissal. In the dismissal, they still claim the auto key card is not a machine gun and Matt did nothing wrong. But even if it is a machine gun, the NFA violates the Constitution, and because of Bruin that said only the original text can be applied, and it got rid of that dumbass intermediate scrutiny shit, they cannot charge him for violating the NFA because the NFA is not constitutional. And remember, when the Bruin decision dropped, I talked about on my live stream over at John Crump Live, you should really check it out, about how it's all great that it said the individual has a right to carry a firearm outside their home for personal self-defense. But I said the bigger thing is that the courts knocked down the two-step test, which is awesome because now they can only rely on the original text. And according to Matt's lawyers, the NFA violates the original text of the Constitution and therefore is unconstitutional. The motion to dismiss is about 9 pages long, and it really breaks it down. It even includes some of the conversations from when the NFA was being debated. I think one of the biggest issues surrounding the NFA is that it is a direct tax on a right. We know in Murdoch versus Pennsylvania that you cannot pit a direct tax on a right, but it looks like that's what the government is trying to do. If you haven't read the Murdoch versus Pennsylvania case, I highly suggest that you do. It is a great case study in constitutional law. So what happens next? The judge will review the motion to dismiss and make a ruling based on the lawyer's arguments. which is that the NFA violates the Constitution. It runs afoul of Bruin, and the judge is bound by case law to rule with Bruin in mind. They can't ignore the Bruin decision. It just can't be done. So we'll see what the judge says in this case. Hopefully it's a positive ruling for Matt. I'm not going to say whether I think it will work or it won't work, because in courts, you just never know. Anyone that tells you they know what a court is going to do is full of bullshit, because no one knows what a judge is going to do. They're the most unpredictable people on the planet. It's like they're all bipolar or something. I don't know. But that is where we stand as of today. If there's any more updates, I will bring them to you. Until then, I love you very much. Stay ever vigilant. Stay ever free. Keep in the fight. I'm out of here. Wolverine's motherfucker.